Hello everybody, welcome to ClubFred. I'm Fred D, your host, of course. Today is Saturday, May the 4th, and I've completed 12 days on this fasting journey. Today is day 13. So I'm just checking in with you. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about supplements. It's a case of do as I say, not as I do, because last night I had a little incident that you need to know about. Also, I will review a little bit of an exercise routine that I've started, and of course I will post my daily weigh-in. But before I get to that, I need a haircut. Well, that hairdresser was just so delightful. By the time she was done, I think she had to give me 2 haircuts. So how do I look? What do you think? I don't know. It's a bit of a new style for me. The back is awfully short. So today, on the scale, I saw a 0.4 loss. The same as yesterday, and the day before was 0. So in the last 3 days, I've only lost 0.8 of a pound. And to say that's not a little bit discouraging would not be true. My total loss to date is 15.4 pounds. That's in 12 days of fasting. I am 1.9 pounds away from Wonderland, and I've never started an extended water fast in such a good place before. The first time I began my water fast, I was close to 260 pounds, and it took me 60 days to reach 199.9 pounds. In the last fast that I did, that I started in January, I went 30 days, and it took me 27 days to get under 200 pounds. So now I'm thinking maybe 2 more days I can accomplish the 1.9 pound loss. We'll have to see, but that would put it at 14 days. I never started a water fast in such a good place. I was already really heavy keto, and I was already totally fat adapted, and I had already pretty much flushed out all of the water in my system. So I didn't see huge losses like some people do when they begin a fast from just regular eating. So I want to tell you a little bit about my workout. I'm just doing calisthenics right now. I'm no athlete, so every day I just want to do a little bit. So I'm just doing a little bit of squats, a little bit of sit-ups, a little bit of push-ups, and I just have a little dumbbell. So I'm doing some arm curls and just some basic conditioning, maybe just sets of 10 right now, and also walking. So that's enough. I don't want to push the exercise envelope too much to jeopardize my fast. I'm thinking it's May the 4th, and in order to accomplish my goal of 182 pounds, I may have to fast the whole month. And if I'm only losing 0.4 of a pound every day, it's going to be Christmas. Now I want to tell you about what happened to me last night. I went to bed around 9 p.m. The last number of days I have not been sleeping well at all, like 3 hours, and forcing myself to lay in bed and relax until around 6 a.m. where I could get up and weigh in, and so that I could have a similar weigh-in time and a beginning of my day. And I usually get up earlier, but I've been finding that because I'm not sleeping that well, in mid to late afternoon, I'm just very tired. So I went to bed at 9 p.m. And within about an hour, I woke up and I didn't feel very good, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. And then as I was assessing my body and my situation, I realized that something was in crisis, that there was something definitely wrong. And I sat up a little bit and realized I had to lay down. And it occurred to me that I was having a blood pressure crash due to an electrolyte imbalance. So I looked over. I was using the flashlight on my phone. I looked over. I could see the salt, and I thought, I'll just go. I need salt. I'll just go and get some salt. And when I sat up, I didn't trust myself to walk 10 steps to my salt jar. I thought I might faint. So I laid back down in bed. I was thinking about it. And I realized that beside my bed is a table. And I realized that when I traveled, I had put some pink Himalayan salt in a small Ziploc bag, travel bag that I use for cream and toothbrush and toothpaste and meds. And I reached for that, and I found that salt. And I put the salt in my mouth, and I did not enjoy it, but I dissolved it and swallowed it. And I immediately started to feel better. And then I took some more, another pinch of salt, and I put it in my mouth, and I had water. I always have water beside the bed, and I washed it down with water, and then I did it again. So the total of that amount of salt might have been a half a teaspoon by the time I was done with that. And then I laid down and laid still and just kind of tried to assess how I was feeling. Maybe after 20 minutes, I sat up. I felt good enough to get up, wherein I went to my other supplements. I took 2 tablets of potassium and a tablet of magnesium and a little bit more salt and some water. And that crisis was averted. So I have to tell you that I've been wrong and stupid because I had a supplement protocol that I have followed for 75 days that worked for me. And in the last fast, I just didn't like taking the supplements either. I started taking my supplements later in the day instead of first thing in the morning. And then I didn't want to take them again before bed, so I stopped taking them twice. And I know from the charts and from the specs I've seen that other people have posted, even when I was taking them morning and night, the volume of my supplements is low compared to anything that I've seen recommended. So by not taking my evening ration of supplements, I was cutting the volume again in half. So that was wrong and that was stupid, and I'm going to amend that. I'm going to make a note about that. Don't do that. Make sure you have enough supplements. If in doubt, take more because your body will flush them out. So when I laid back down in bed, I took my blood pressure, which was 101/69. My resting heart rate was 58. What I like to see is 120/80. Slightly lower is good. But for me, I like to see that number because my blood pressure has always been high when I was fat, sometimes up to 160, over 90 something. But when I see 101 over 70 something, I know there's a problem. So it was probably even lower than that before I took the salt. And that's what electrolyte balance is all about, is maintaining your blood pressure at a healthy level. So another side effect of all of that was I slept really well. I slept quite soundly after that. I slept through the night. And this morning, after I had my coffee, mind you, I took my blood pressure, and it was 124 over 83 or something like that. So slightly high, but after you consume caffeine or something, it's going to be a little bit higher than at a rested state. So I was happy with that. So there it is. That's the incident report of last night. It's important. And it boggles my mind how people want to argue about clean or pure fasting without supplements, as if that's some kind of better thing to aspire to, when I think it's just semantics. Someone went so far to tell me that because I told people on a Facebook group that I fasted for 75 days, I was lying, and I was lying because it wasn't a water fast, because I took supplements. So that's fine then. What should I call it? Because in the end, I think you're just playing word games with me. And, online communication or the title of a video, I can't put a paragraph. Yes. What I do is water fasting with supplements. I can accept that. If a pure fast does not include supplements, that's fine. I water fast with supplements, but I don't understand how anybody can do it without taking supplements. I've had these issues before. And I have no other health issues. I have no other problems. I have every reason to believe that I'm a normal person. I don't have diabetes. I have nothing showing up in my blood. I have nothing, no condition that someone can say could be complicating my water fasting. And I'm not malnourished. I mean, I've always eaten well, and for many years aside from binging and having binge sessions with junk food and Netflix, I actually have been eating home-cooked food for years, non-processed food, eating very well, health conscious with bad habits though, but still eating well. So to say that I wasn't prepared for a fast, that I didn't have some type of vital nutrients in my body before I began a fast, doesn't make sense to me. So the bottom line, and to wrap this little thing up, is supplements while fasting is so vital and important, in my experience, to staying safe. And I wonder what might have happened last night if I didn't have that little baggie of salt close beside me. And it's just so amazing that a little bit of salt could fix that issue. And that wasn't just like oh, I feel a little bit faint or I feel a little bit sick. It was kind of like, oh my God, there is something wrong. I feel like maybe I'm dying. I mean, it wasn't pain, but there was something definitely wrong, enough to really make me alarmed. And it was a blood pressure crash. That's what I was having. So I could have passed out in bed. I probably wouldn't have died and got to the point where things recovered a bit and then got to the salt later. But I was so pleased. But I was so pleased that I had that little store of salt within arm's reach that I could grab and fix that problem. So there you go. Listen, I want to express my thanks to you, my loyal viewers, for your kindness and your support, for your encouraging comments, and I hope it makes a difference in your life. I hope that by me sharing my story, it encourages someone somewhere, somehow, to try to make a difference and find health and vitality. And if it does, it's worth it, because I have no aspirations to be a YouTube star. I'm passionate about water fasting. I am a water fasting evangelist. I care about people enough to know that the message can change their lives. But outside of that, it's not something that I really aspire to or want to do. I do this because I believe that the message is important. I get nothing else from it. So if you're still with me right now and you've listened through to the end of this video, I thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And with that said, love yourself, stay safe, and be awesome. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Dun, dun, dun. He was a good friend of mine. Bum, bum, bum. I never did understand a word he said, but I love to drink his wine. Sing it with me now. Joy to the world. Oh, all the boys and girls, joy to the fishers in the deep blue sea, and joy to you and me. La, 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 la. I'm thinking it's May the 5th. Is it May the 5th? Big house where we all could live. And then how does it go?